Good morning, this is Eric. I am doing my solo act today. Thom will not be able to join me. I just got a message from him about 20 seconds ago saying not going to be available. So it'll be me coming to you today live from 5 Points, beautiful downtown 5 Points, Alabama at the Old Town Coffee Shop. So as you jump in here, make sure to let me know that you're on. Say hi, say something so that I'll know that you're here. That way we'll get a chance to interact with you as we go down this road today, okay? So I'll do my show live by myself, and we don't even have an audience here today. I don't know what to think about that, but it's okay. I'm looking forward to this. Have some interesting things to kind of follow up with from yesterday's live feed when we talked about being in the flow state. I'm curious about a couple of things, so give me just a second here. I want to find out if I've had some broadcasting issues, and so, okay, good. It looks like that we have solved the broadcasting issues, so I'm glad to get that taken care of. All right, this morning, I want to talk about I actually want to talk about several things. I asked Sarah today about the coffee and kittens from Saturday, and she said that they had a really, really good day. Jeremy says he can't hear. Somebody else has jumped off, so maybe there's a hearing problem. Does anybody else have an issue? Okay, good. Jeremy says he can hear me now. All right, good. So we got that taken care of. Good. We have all kinds of connection issues today. The internet wasn't functioning properly here. Good. Okay. So Thom is working on his internet at his house. That's the reason why he's not able to be here this morning. So he's trying to get his office back up and running with the internet there. Yesterday I talked about the flow state, and today I want to continue that conversation. We had a really interesting, rather comedic kind of conversation yesterday about the flow state. And so I want to pick up on that today and continue kind of where we left off yesterday. So without my cohort, I'm going to have to look back and forth, so I apologize for that. Usually have Thom to watch the messages and feed me the information, but today I'll have to do that by myself. Okay, so yesterday we talked about how do you know, and I said what happens is that you recognize, you get to the point where the process becomes more important than the outcome, and you get so absorbed in the process that you may forget other things. And we had some entertaining comments made about that, and that's cool. But the fact is that when you are in that state of mind, when you're in that state where you are functioning at that level, you do miss things. You miss other things that would normally capture your attention, but they don't, because you kind of shut all that out, like missing a meal. Forgetting to pick your wife up from work. Those kinds of things will happen to you when you are so absorbed in the process, not just the outcome. I'm not talking about scrambling to meet a deadline. I'm talking about being absorbed in the process. When you're so enthralled in the process. And we talked about that at length yesterday. So today, I want to pick up with that. I want to talk about 5 things that happen to you that I think will help you, okay? 5 things that will help you to achieve that flow state. And I mentioned those in the article that I posted again here, and many of you have read that article. I had great readership yesterday of that article, but I gave you it again in case you need to have that article. And the coffee shop's getting busy again. So if there's a little noise in the background, that's okay. That's what they do. And so it's great. But I want to give you those 5 things today. And the 5 things are really simple. Number 1, your skills have to match the task. A lot of people struggle. They never feel fulfilled. They never feel like they're achieving their purpose. They've never arrived at that flow state because their skill set does not match the task that they've set out to do. And because the skill set doesn't match the task, they can never achieve that state of flow. And I'll give you an example. The other day, I got a phone call, something that was perceived to be bad news, and I was made for this. I was made for this. And so all of a sudden I recognized that my skill set fit the task. And so that was my opportunity to rise to the occasion, and I haven't been able to shut it off since that time. So that's the first one. The second thing is stretching those skills, and that is stretching the skill set that you have to match to the task that now takes you to a different level. Now stretches you out, takes you to a different level. So the second thing is getting stretched by those skill sets, okay? So first one is your skill set has to match the task. The second one is that that you need to stretch your skills to meet the level. The next one is you have to have a clear objective. You have to have a crystal clear goal. Good morning, Brooke. Good morning, Celia. It's good to see you on. Hopefully things are going well for you. But you have to have clear goals. You have to know where you're going. It's impossible to be in that flow state, even if your skills match and even if they're stretching you, if you don't have a clear understanding of where you're going. So you have to have a clear understanding of where you're going. And number 4, your environment needs to be free from distraction. That's the reason why sometimes you just shut things off. You don't recognize that the weather got bad, or that a storm blew through, or that you just drove past your driveway. Now don't tell me that that's a senior moment. Sometimes it's just a distraction. And so you start to shut those things off, and they're no longer the distractions. You have to have an environment free from distraction, so that you're not getting your thoughts taken in a different direction. And then finally, the last one is, and I've got to look at the article here to get that, when you focus on the process and not the end. And we talked about that at length yesterday, how that the process itself becomes more important than the outcome, and you get absorbed in the process. And when you have those 5 conditions, you've set yourself in a good place to be able to get in that flow state. And when you're in the flow state, then the energy comes, the attention comes, the concentration is there. All of the things that you need in order to achieve peak performance happen when you reach that state of affairs. Now, a couple of things as I get ready to close. All right? And this one's not a local business. I always talk about local businesses, but I have 2 things here. I needed a prop for today. One of the reasons why I'm talking about flow state right now at the end of the year is because this is coming. 2018's on its way. Now, that calendar is a reminder to me. Sometimes I need a prop. That calendar is a reminder of me that we're getting ready to go into 2018. And 2017 is just about done. And so it's time for us to start thinking about what we're going to do in 2018. What's that year going to look like? What am I going to do? And many of the posts that I've made, things that you'll see in Facebook and other places, are focusing on what's that next year is going to look like, because that next year is really important. Second thing, and this is just a little shout out to Tyler over at the Enterprise Rent-A-Car, who we've been renting cars from since the day he arrived at Enterprise. We were there, rented a car from him the first day. Amazing guy, has done an amazing job for us. My first experience there was not good, and but Tyler has taken amazing care of us, and I give him a big shout out today at the Enterprise on Bob Wallace. If you're looking for a car to rent over the holidays or sometime, I couldn't recommend somebody better than Tyler over at Enterprise Rent-A-Car on 2401 Bob Wallace Avenue. And the only reason why I know that is because I looked the address up. Okay? All right, any comments before we go? Good morning. Several people have said good morning, and good morning to you. We appreciate that. Miss Betty and Ginger and others. We've had several who've jumped in and joined us since we started. So thank you for joining us today. I will close with this. There is, in the article that I posted right there, there is a very brief quiz that helps you to evaluate those things that I just talked about, those 5 areas. It focuses on those 5 areas, and then we'll kind of help you to evaluate how easy is it going to be for me to achieve that peak performance. How easy is it going to be for me to get to that place where I rise above the occasion? I do more than I thought I was capable of doing. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking at the clock. We're right about 12 minutes, which is exactly how long I normally take. Okay, thank you for joining me today. I look forward to talking to you soon. Tomorrow, we'll wrap up this topic for today, for this week, which is the flow state. Thank you for coming in.